There are two ways we can do this. We can try to time the market and try to get rich, or we can dollar cost average and actually get rich over the long term. I'm going to choose the second option. What's going on, my friends? It's Bob. I'm back again with another video. Hope you're doing well. Today we're talking about dollar cost averaging, which is the ability over a long period of time to actually get the most value out of the stock market. I'm going to call this the secret of how the rich get richer. Somebody asked me a while ago, it was I think September 2020, they said, Bob, I think I missed the boat on Tesla and I should have bought in when it was like $100 a share, and right now it's $400 a share. That's way too much. I'm afraid I missed out. And because they're just so focused on trying to time the market on when to buy a share of Tesla, look at where it's at the recording of this video. It's over $800. So because they're all jacked up on the timing of the market back then, if they would have just invested over the period of time and followed what I'm about to share with you today, they would be doing just fine. So I'm gonna walk you through an example. I think it's gonna blow your mind, so get ready for that. But let's talk really quick about the details. Timing the market is probably one of the most stressful things. And let's be honest, guys, it's like being a gambler. You're at a casino hall, you're trying to make money, and you're hoping that it hits on black. But if that roulette wheel lands on red, we might lose all our money. That's kind of what you're trying to do when you're timing the market. And unless you can see into the future and know without a doubt, because you're a psychic, that this stock market is about to go to the moon, there's no real way to know. Come here a minute though. If you actually can tell the future, do me a favor. How many likes am I gonna get on this video right here? Oh God. By the way, I actually average about 40 likes per video. Hey, how about we average that up? Let's get as many likes as possible. Smash it down below. Why dollar cost averaging is so freaking awesome. First of all, it's stress-free. You don't have to worry about the market being up or being down. You just continue to invest. Dollar cost averaging is highly strategic. I think this is what the smart people do in the stock market that are in it for the long haul. These are the people that I think 10, 20, 30 years from now, even the people that started 10, 20, or 30 years ago, are at a point where they are living their wealthy lifestyle because they did this consistently over a long period of time. Let me pop up a quick example. Right over here is my Stash app. Check this out. This is under my automatic investments. So this is actually my main portfolio. If I hit automate investments, right now, every week I have $10 that comes out of my bank account and immediately gets invested in the following stocks. I have $7 going into Apple. I have $1 going into the Blue Chips ETF. I got another one going into Delicious Dividends. And then I got another one going into Aggressive Mix. Now, all $10, it just comes out automatically. I don't have to worry about it. Boom, every week, and it invests in all of these things. I'm not worried what the stock price of Apple is. Regardless of that, I love the iPad, I love my iMac, I love all these things Apple. I have confidence in the company, so I'm gonna continue to invest in it. Now, my dollar cost average will range, which means one week it could be $150 a share and I buy a little fraction of that share. The next week it could drop, but I'm still gonna continue to invest. That's the beauty of things like this. By the way, I just did a video on this outlining my entire investment strategy per week. So make sure you check that out by clicking the link above or down in the description below to see the entire investment portfolio plan of attack. So you ready for something that's gonna make your jaw drop? I'm gonna give you an example of dollar cost averaging versus a lump sum investment. So what are we waiting on? Let's get started with the example. So here's a great example of dollar cost averaging and how it can help you over the long term. So I'm gonna pop up my screen here so you can check it out. So this line right here is gonna represent time. And guess what you get to do? You get to see my god-awful handwriting. I'm sorry in advance. So there's gonna be two different people. We're gonna talk about Mr. Lump Sum and Mr. DCA, which stands for dollar cost averaging. They're gonna do two different strategies when it comes down to one particular stock. So you're gonna have Mr. Lump Sum, and Mr. Lump Sum, what he's gonna do is he's gonna put in a total of $1,000 into this particular stock that's currently going for $10 per share. So that means he's gonna get a total of 100 shares of this particular stock. And then that's all he's gonna do. He's just gonna put in the $1,000, he's gonna let it ride all the way through from January to July. And then you got Mr. DCA. Now, Mr. DCA gets paid once a week, and what he wants to do is once per month, he's gonna take all the extra money that he has, and he's gonna put $500 per month into the stock via a dollar cost averaging strategy. So we know Mr. Lump Sum got 100 shares in January at $10. So same thing here. In January, Mr. DCA is going to purchase his amount of shares. So he, because it's $10 and he's only investing $500, is he's going to get 50 shares in January. Okay? And then In February, let's say the stock price goes up just a little bit. Now the stock price is going up, and in February, it's worth $15 per share. Now, Mr. Lump Sum, he's excited. He has a little bit more money in the game. But Mr. DCA doesn't care. He's going to keep on his investing strategy. So he's going to now get, because the stock price is a little bit more, he's going to continue to invest his $500, which means he's going to get an average of 33 shares in February. All right? Then March comes along. Now March, something weird happens with the stock. It actually drops down below to $9 per share. All right, so now Mr. Lump Sum's a little bit like bummed out. He's sad. He's going to McDonald's to eat away his sadness. Mr. DCA, what's he doing? You guessed it. He's investing that $500. Now what's cool is he's going to get a little bit more because it's only $9 a share. So his $500 now buys him an additional 55 shares. Now April, it's going to go back up. And April, it is now up to, let's say, $13 a share, okay? So that means good old Mr. DCA gets 38 shares of his $500 in April. In May, something very serious happens. It drops back down. This is a very high volatile stock, as you can see. Each month brings all kinds of new wonders and excitement. But $8 a share in May, which means that Mr. DCA gets 62 shares. 62 shares in May. Boy, look at that handwriting. June gets even worse, guys. June goes down to $5 a share. Okay, so in June, this thing is just not performing well. It's at $5 a share. But good old Mr. DCA, because he's investing his $500, gets 100 shares in June. That's pretty freaking awesome. So that's great. And then July, we get a rebound. This stock announces something great. Maybe they have a new innovation coming, and everybody gets excited, and it doubles in value, and it goes back up to what it originally started at $10, which means another 500 bucks, he gets another 50 shares. So now let's pause for a second. Here we are in July, and then you have two different people. You have the guy that put in $1,000, got his 100 shares. In July, he still owns the 100 shares. They're now, once again, worth $10, and guess how much he's made? Nothing. He's broken even, which isn't really necessarily a bad thing. But let's look at Mr. DCA. Because he's been investing over time, consistently, not worried about if the price is up or down, he now owns a total of 388 shares. So DCA owns 388 shares because he's been investing over this long period of time, $500 a month. His actual share price, or his dollar average cost, is averaged at $5.54. That's his what we call average unit cost or average share cost. That means even though Mr. DCA put in a total of $3,500 over the course of these 7 months, with his $5.54 dollar cost average, his value is now worth $3,880 because of that $10 share price, which means Mr. DCA has made more money than the guy that just put it in once and didn't do anything further with it. Now let me just throw in one more fun example. Let's say it's now August, okay? And it's before Mr. DCA puts his next $500 in, but in August, the stock price does well again, and now it's up to an all-time high of $20 per share. Now, both Mr. Lump Sum and Mr. DCA are in the green. Mr. Lump Sum, with his 100 shares, now has a total of $2,000 in his portfolio, which means that he grew by $1,000, right? Now, let's talk about Mr. DCA. Remember, he has a total of 388 shares. Now, 388 shares multiplied by the new $20 price equals a net portfolio of $7,760, which means that Mr. DCA is now up $4,260. Boom! And all you have to do, and remember, this is $500 a month. Let's say you only have $10 a month to get started. Over the long period of time, you will see growth. If you look at the stock market, it has averaged a growth of 10% over its period of time. Some years are high, some years are low. There's recessions, there's periods of profitability, all that kind of stuff. But if you look on the average trend, the stock market has always grown by an average of 10%. I want to see you get rich. I want to help you get rich through these everyday personal finance videos. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss the next personal finance video coming here to the channel. And as always, continue to live your sweet life because you're worth it. Have an awesome day. We'll see you next time.